Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well today. I hope you had a Merry Christmas too. Today, I'm back at you again with another self improvement video. Now, I call this a self improvement video because week by week, I cover topics that I believe to be important for achieving any goal in self improvement or any goal in general. So, for me, in these videos, it's becoming more flexible. For you, it may be something else, but this is just my documentation of my journey to becoming more flexible. I hope you continue to watch me during this journey, and I hope that you start your journey of your own. I forgot to mention this, but before I recorded this, I went on a run and it felt great. I did better than last week. I PR'd from last week. It was great. I think it really came from the fact that I was done with all of my in-person final exams. There was just one more online exam and it was incredibly light. However, there was one problem with it. I unfortunately got a little small injury from it. I don't know why. Like, I think it was the road I ran on, specifically this one rocky uphill road. It was a really weird spot. I don't know why that just hurts to run on, but either way, my left IT band is now acting up. So now both my righty my right IT band and my left IT band are now injured. Well, my right IT band is like it's basically fully healed now, but my left IT band was kind of freshly injured, but like very lightly. I'd say like it was like a little tiny flare up. But even then, it was perfectly fine before, but now it was like somewhat injured after the run. So it was something I had to address during this routine. Now, as for the exercises, you could see me doing foam rolling in the background, and there really is nothing much else to say. It feels good, and that's really it. It's just something that feels good. It's releasing any tight muscles. That's really it. Next, I record my squat before doing any mobility work, and normally I'd be excited about this, but it looks like my upper back is rounded and I don't know, like the way I'm shooting up so quickly, it doesn't look like I'm very comfortable in this position. And the goal of this flexibility journey is to do a deep squat comfortably. And it doesn't really look comfortable based on the way that I'm shooting up. Like it just looks like I'm trying to go low for the sake of saying that, hey, I can go lower this week. So I had to remember not to cheat on form. Next, I did a banded hip mobilization with the correct weight this time, the correct weight, because last week it was way too heavy. It was with a gray band. It was 100 pounds when that just wasn't what Squad University was showing because the band was a lot thinner. They could go a lot further. So I literally just switched up the band with a lighter one and it's just made a huge change. It felt a lot better doing it with a lighter band. So between last week and this week, I looked up shin stretches because that was the one thing that I'm missing to a deep squat. And before I continue, let me make one thing clear. Your shin cannot be stretched. Your shin is a bone. So I mean tibia. So what I'm really looking for is tibia stretches. So I looked up stretches for my tibia and there's really not a lot. There's really not a lot. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's another muscle that actually needs to be stretched, not the tibia. But either way, there really wasn't a lot. I found this one where it's the child's pose and mm, um getting out of the exercise, it did not feel great on my IT bed. It really did not feel great. and it didn't even really stretch my shins that much, my tibia that much. So this is the one thing holding me back from a deep squat right now, because I think my my ankle mobility is great. My hip mobility is becoming better. I think this is the one thing that I'm missing. So I might need more hip stability. I might need more ankle mobility. But I think I'd be able to at least get to that end range of motion. Maybe not comfortably, but at least I'd be able to get there. But the one thing that is blocking me from doing so is my shins, my tibia. Also, I just randomly recorded my feet because I felt that I was walking too duck footed where your feet are pointing out. But I don't think that really matters too much. That will either fix itself or it won't. It's not something to worry about. I just recorded it. Next, I did the hip airplane, and again, nothing much to say. Just gotta work on my form, but regardless, I saw improvement from last week. I'm seeing a greater range of motion through this exercise. I really love this exercise. I really love it. The only problem is that it's kind of hard to do if you're not in a gym. Like, if you're trying to do this every day, I'm trying to think of like a thing that you can do to replace it, supplement it with. I'm trying to think of like a structure that you can do this on, because this is like a squat rack. There's not a lot of places I can think of. Other than, you could do like a towel rack, something like that. Just anything that you can do this safely on without like damaging the structure, do it. This is a great exercise. Next, I recorded myself doing a squat after doing more mobility work, and it looks a little better. I'm still hunching a bit too much, and I'm chewing up too quickly, but it looked better than when I started earlier in the video. I do think that this is an issue with me making my form worse just to say that I can hit a deeper squat. Like, I think that's what I'm doing right now. I'm worsening my form just to say I can hit a deeper squat. And in case you recognize this term, that would be ego lifting. Or in this case, I don't even know what this would be called, ego squatting, but that would just be ego lifting. But I'm not lifting anything. Either way, you would be doing this for your ego. You're trying to hit a goal, but in the process of doing that goal, you are making your form worse, which isn't actually getting you closer to your goal. It's just making your form worse. Then I did the touchdown squat. There's a really weird battle going on between my legs and my knees. My legs are trying to cave in, but my knee is saying no. My knee is trying to go straight over the toe, and it just looks awkward as a result. Now, keep in mind, this is supposed to work your glutes, and it really does work my glutes. It's just looking back at the footage, it looks like my legs, my knees are caving in. And that's not good. We don't want that. We do not want that. I'm just not sure what it is. Like, maybe I'm not doing the hip hinge correctly. Maybe I'm not doing the exercise correctly. Yeah, I don't really know. But it's still working my glutes really well. I just need to fix on my form on this exercise, especially on the right side. Then, for the last exercise of the day, I did a heel elevated squat and what's it called again? Negative chin ups. That's what I call it. Squat University calls them something different, but that's what I call them. And as for the heel elevated squats, I did this because This looked like the one missing link in my squat depth because this was supposed to target your shins and everything. Well, tibia, because you can't stretch your shins. And as a result, my knees didn't really like that. My knees didn't really like the goblet squat because that's what's called with the weight and everything. When you do it with your heels elevated and weight, yeah, it really did like it. I don't know why. I think my knees were way too far, and oh, my foot stability is completely off because it just doesn't feel right doing this exercise. I don't really like it that much. Like, one, it doesn't feel great on my knees. My IT band just hurts during this exercise. And two, after looking back at the footage, it's no wonder there's no way to keep my feet stable, or at least no way that I know of. It just doesn't look right. Like, I'm looking at it, my feet are just coming off. Like, I'm losing all sense of stability where you like grab the ground with your feet, and I'm just losing all stability trying to grab on, but my heels are elevated and it just feels off. I think it's a combination of lack of foot stability and my knees are way too far out. As for the negative chin ups, or as Squat University calls them, the eccentric curl ups, nothing really to say there. It's just an exercise to stretch the lats. Uh, they were just kind of Because like the more I think about it, I'm starting to think it's not my lats that really need to be stretched that much. I think I need to work more of the smaller muscles that lift my arms overhead, like the serratus anterior, like that. I don't know what to call it. They're like the rib muscles, like those muscles. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like the rib cage muscles. Those. I need to work on those now because I'm pretty sure my lat muscles and chest muscles are pretty flexible now. Finally, to wrap up this fifth video, here's my fifth progress pic, my fifth shirtless pic. This photo was taken on January 4th, 2023, if I remember correctly. Hopefully I do, because last time I was wrong. Physique is looking great here too. And with that, I will see you in the next video.